Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on India Today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi sending out a strong message to China during the surprise visit to the forward post in Ladakh is our top focus. The Prime Minister visited a forward at a height of 1,000 feet. Interacting with the troops, he praised the forces. The Prime Minister said the valor of the troops during the Galwan clash is the epitome of bravery. Without taking names, Prime Minister also slammed China. He said that the enemy witnessed the fire and fury of our brave hearts and the age of expansionism is now over. The visit is coming just days after the 15 June border clash with China in which 20 soldiers were killed in the line of duty. Flanked by General Rawat and General Naravane, the Prime Minister also assured the country that India is fully prepared in handling the adversary. The presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Ladakh region has not only sent a huge signal to China that India means business, but also to the local population, with the head of the government coming down to reassure them.
भारत माता की वंदे।
साथियों, सिंधु के आशीर्वाद से ये धरती पुण्य हुई है। वीर सपूतों के शौर्य और पराक्रम की गाथाओं को ये धरती अपने आप में समेटे हुए है। लेह लद्दाख से लेकर करगिल और सियाचिन तक, रेजांगला की बर्फीली चोटियां से लेकर गलवान घाटी के ठंडे पानी की धारा तक, हर चोटी, हर पहाड़, हर जर्रा जर्रा, हर कंकड़, पत्थर भारतीय सैनिकों के पराक्रम की गवाही देते हैं। अभी जो आपने और आपके साथियों ने वीरता दिखाई है, उसने पूरी दुनिया में यह संदेश दिया है कि भारत की ताकत क्या है। मैं गलवान घाटी में शहीद हुए अपने वीर जवानों को भी पुनः श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं। इनमें पूरब से, पश्चिम से, उत्तर से, दक्षिण से, देश के हर कोने के वीर अपना शौर्य दिखाते थे। उनके पराक्रम, उनके सिंहनाद से धरती अब भी उनका जयकारा कर रही है। आज हर देशवासी का सिर आपके सामने, अपने देश के वीर सैनिकों के सामने आदरपूर्वक नतमस्तक होकर के नमन करता है। आज हर भारतीय की छाती आपकी वीरता और पराक्रम से फूली हुई है।
All right, Abhishek Bhalla is reporting from Leh, now joins us. Gaurav Samant reporting from Delhi also joins us. And we have Lieutenant General Rakesh Sharma, former DG Operations and Logistics, Lieutenant General PJ Pannu as well, former 14 Corps Commander, also joining us. First up, let's go straight across to my colleague Abhishek Bhalla, who's getting us all the very latest from Leh. Abhishek, what a surprise for everyone, for the entire nation, for the troops as well. The Prime Minister's visit in Ladakh caught almost everyone off guard, and at a time, this is coming at a time when India and China are talking about de-escalation, but the Chinese are not showing any signs of de-escalation from the speech made by Prime Minister. What are the 5 strong messages that are going out to the adversary, to the enemy nation? How do you decipher his speech, Abhishek?
It was a dash visit, Chaiti, by the Prime Minister, and He spoke extensively in that address to the troops, and the big takeaway is, there is a clear signal towards China and the salami slicing that it's been doing to access land across the line of actual control. When he said that this is the age of development and not expansionism, he clearly hinted at the Chinese policy, and he also said that history has recorded that anybody who's believed in expansionism has had to face losses, has had to retreat. So one thing was very clear, that without naming China, he hinted very clearly towards their policies. The other was the fact that he openly backed the troops to take whatever action is required, patted their back for the bravery, for the valor that they've shown over the last 2 months, especially that June 15th clash. And yes, it's very significant that it comes amidst just days after those Corps Commander level talks, where once again both the sides had said that they are willing to disengage and de-escalate. But on the ground, exactly the opposite of that has been happening, Chaiti. Repeatedly there have been meetings where such talk has happened, but that's not translated on the ground. In fact, on the ground, in all the friction points, there has been a massive mobilization. In fact, there are more areas where the Chinese came in large numbers, also brought in their armor and artillery extremely close to the line of actual control. So the Prime Minister's visit to Ladakh and the message is very clear that the Indian forces are not going to take a step backwards.
Oh, absolutely. Gaurav Sawant reporting from Delhi is also joining us. Gaurav, it is interesting. The Congress party has hit out the Prime Minister, saying that he is the one who's taken the maximum number of visits to China as well. And there's a lot of political that is going on ever since the Galwan Valley face-off really took place as well. At this point, somewhere this visit also silences all the naysayers up until now. What is the kind of message going on to his political opponents back home as well?
So the Prime Minister's message is at multiple levels. To troops on ground, he's patting their back, giving them a big shabash, telling them that India stands with our soldiers. And that's a very strong message to that fighting soldier who's at the line of actual control. He's also said Veer Bhogya Vasundhara, very emphatically stating that it's the strong who inherit the earth and not the meek. So you have to be strong to inherit the earth. Peace only comes when you are strong on ground. Very important signal that goes to commanders on ground, that if they remain strong, we will have peace. Otherwise, the Chinese will continue with their salami slicing. The bigger message, of course, apart from the nation, is for other countries in South China Sea and East China Sea, who again are seeing the Chinese spread their tentacles. At Galwan, India cut off Chinese tentacles, did not let them move forward. Will other countries also do so? Look at the signaling that comes from other countries. France stands with India. That's point one. Point two, while the Prime Minister was speaking, the Japanese ambassador, Satoshi Suzuki, he said that Japan is opposed to any unilateral change of line of actual control and that status quo ante needs to be restored. Very strong message that comes out. The United States has banned both Huawei and ZTE. So has India from 4G 4G upgrades. Strong signaling happening that it's the strength of our country that's at play. Not just military strength, but the national strength. 130 crore Indians standing with a million-strong army at the line of actual control to push the Chinese back. We have two of the finest generals on the broadcast with us, Chaiti, and they will tell you how tactically and strategically India will push the dragon back.
Oh, absolutely. So let's go to them now that you mentioned. Lieutenant General Rakesh Sharma, former DG Operations and Logistics, to you first, and how Gaurav was mentioning how India will strategically push the dragon back as well. Coming to that point of Gaurav mentioning how China is now getting singled out in the rest of the geopolitical sphere as well. The message at the moment is clear. India is not alone. Gaurav mentioned about France as well. Let me bring in what US has done as well. It is significant to note now that the US has pulled out its troops, or said that it's pulling out its troops from Europe to deploy on China's eastern front as well. Somewhere, China getting singled out. Are you picking that kind of a sense coming in?
Yeah, firstly, I would like to say, though this was a purported surprise visit, but this was no surprise to me, because Modi ji is a soldier first and a politician later. He is a political soldier. See, he leads from the front like we, the army people, we, our CO, commanding officers, and everybody leads from the front. So he has reached there and has gone with a strong message to all and sundry. The first thing that, the message that he has given is, of course, that which has been, I don't want to repeat those very many things. First thing is expansionism is over and development or growth, if I may use the wrong word, growthism is on. So we have to develop our infrastructure. He was very, very vivid about it. Why should China be bothered about it? It is not only for defense, it is for the benefit of our people who live in those remote and those areas. The other thing that, you see, messages which have been driven home are, firstly, that before that I would say that he made a rich tribute to the Galwan warriors, and he has said that the entire country is proud of the Galwan warriors.
Yes.
Now the messages which have gone in, one is, that China is trying to hobnob, and it's always its strategy to do, hobnobbing with Pakistan and trying to engineer a two-front war. So it is a clear message, one, to China, that you say something else and do something else, and we are prepared. Second is to Pakistan. Third is to the Southeast Asia, that we are a strong nation and they are acknowledging that we can tackle things at our own. And lastly, to the entire world, that India is a strong country. Gone are the days of a soft country. Now we are a strong country. Now coming on to how we will be actually managing the situation here as of now. You know that the situation is quite tense. China has mobilized the forces. Reports also indicate that probably division or a division plus by Pakistan in a kind of a synergy have been moved to Gilgit-Baltistan. So I foresee in the case or in the event of a kind of situation which gets, goes out of the control, China will try to come through. That is why he has marched forces behind the Galwan Valley.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let me also bring in Lieutenant General P.J.S. Pannu, who's retired, former 14 Corps commander as well. Picking a cue from what Lieutenant General was just talking about, what Lieutenant General Rakesh Sharma, who's retired, was talking about as well. Somewhere does Prime Minister Modi's message come across is very clear to China that India is not going to back down, and it is not going to be compromising on the territorial integrity at all. I mean, we want peace, yes, but the peace cannot come at the cost of territorial integrity for India.
Thank you very much, Chati. Firstly, when the Prime Minister wore that cap of Fire and Fury Corps, you would have realized that there is a symbol on it. It shows that there are burning arrows, headed in two directions, left and right, that is east and west. It means it is prepared to fight a two-front war. Second thing is that the Prime Minister's pitch was of a national leader speaking. And such inspiring national leadership only is seen from such leaders who understand the situation very well. And in these circumstances, you find that not only the people are getting motivated, in any case, soldiers are there. Soldiers are eyeball to eyeball, and they would in any case be prepared for war. But no leader ever shoves the nation to war. Leaders always inspire people and militaries to come out victorious in case they are pushed into a situation of war. So there is a clear difference that he is not shoving the nation into war. He's only inspiring the nation to come out victorious. Another thing is that the people of Ladakh, every child is a soldier there. He spoke about the Ladakhis, he spoke about the regiment that Ladakh has given to the Indian Army. Let me remind you that Ladakhi children are very motivated. Colonel Chivang Rinchen, who is MVC Bar and Sena Medal,
Right.
was a teenager when he raised a force to fight the Pakistanis.
Right.
He raised the Karakoram wing, and later on it has turned into a large regiment, which the Prime Minister spoke about. The Prime Minister also spoke about, in a very poetic, historical manner, about Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. In this, all that he's saying is that the countrymen have inherited valor. The countrymen have always laid down their lives, made supreme sacrifices if pushed to war. So here there is a pitch in which he is talking about certain things for which the country must prepare, the circumstances in which the country has been forced to get into.
Yes.
The country did not become an aggressor. The country has faced an aggression from China.
Yes.
And now the country is preparing for war. But let me also remind you that where the meeting happens at Chushul Moldo,
right,
next to that there is a hill, and that is the hill where Razangla battle was fought. And anybody who understands history, reads history, the Indian Army fought last man, last round, after inflicting very heavy casualties onto the PLA.
Yes.
Huge number of casualties. Not one soldier looked back. They all perished, barring one or two who were taken prisoners.
Yes.
And one odd had to be asked by the commander to go back to tell the story of what is happening. Otherwise, the entire company perished there.
Absolutely.
Chinese must understand.
Right.
That
stay with us. Lieutenant General PJ Spannu, just stay with us. We will be coming back to you in just about a bit. Thanks all of you for joining us with those inputs as well. Gaurav, Abhishek, Lieutenant General Rakesh Sharma and Lieutenant General PJ Spannu as well. Now, Prime Minister Modi's Ladakh visit was lauded by the family members of soldiers who lost their lives in the violent Galwan Braves on 15th of June. Colonel Santosh Babu was the commanding officer of 16 Bihar, the regiment that clashed with the Chinese. His wife says that the Prime Minister's visit and speech is a morale booster. The family members of the Braves say that justice must be delivered and the valor of 20 Jawans should not go in vain. China must be taught a lesson that it will be remembered for decades. The Prime Minister's visit is coming amidst the rising build-up along the line of actual control and the subsequent snapping of business ties with the Red Dragon.
ये सामर्थ्य और
कि उनको जवाब देना है and but no need to I need only peace and stability at the same time उनको तो जवाब देना है और जीत के वापस आना है देश में कि मेरा ये
भाई का तो दुख है ही, साथ साथ खुशी की बात है कि जो है जिस जगह पर घटना घटी वहाँ पर जा कर के हमारे पीएम ने वहाँ का मुआयना किया और जवानों का हौसला अफजाई किया।
चीन को कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई करें इसलिए कि हमारे कुंदन ओझा का आत्मा का शांति मिले।
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.